In 2017, Quagulth and Coast Salish artist Carrie Newman offered to carve a totem with the Oaklands community. That meant that over 500 students, 50 staff, and about 20 practicum students, and many parents would participate in this hands-on, hearts-on legacy project that drew from the past and looked to the future. The scale of the project was far-reaching and all-encompassing on many levels, but let me assure you, this is not a story about chipping wood. At that first assembly in the fall of 2018, students roared with delight in the crowded gym as the animals they'd voted for were called out one by exciting one. With help from students, Carrie popped balloons and revealed that playful otter, courageous bear, and loyal wolf would make up our family totem. More cheers followed when he told us that Raven, the trickster, who had come to Carrie in a dream, would sit at the top of it. And later we heard stories how the tenacious, determined hummingbird had tucked itself into the wooden folds. And if the decibels in that gym were any indication, something big was happening, and the totem was just the beginning. While I was cutting my teeth on being a new vice principal, I was simultaneously getting a crash course in grant writing, as in, here are the applications, let us know what happens. In the end, our grants totaled more than $50,000, and Carrie got an additional $50,000 from TELUS towards the yet-to-be-finished 3-part documentary. He's also mentoring an artist from Haida Gwaii named Teus, who we've also grown really fond of. And he's working with the Indigenous Education Department at UVic to assess whether the Totem Legacy Project has deepened understanding of Indigenous knowledge and perspectives for future teachers. And in the early days, before that old-growth red cedar from Port Renfrew was lifted onto our basketball court, Carrie went to classes and spoke about Orange Shirt Day, or traditional and modern carving tools. When the totem found its horizontal home in our courtyard, covered by an open-walled tent, Carrie presented to all our 24 classes for 4 or 5 hours at a time, letting them carve, touch, smell, and experience all aspects of totem carving. He described the symmetry and measurement of totems, what tools were used to shape the animals, and told stories that emerged from the wood. This internationally recognized artist is also an Oaklands dad. He can often be seen chatting with teachers or parents in the playground, listening to podcasts on wireless earphones, or heading up to UVic, where he is a professor in the Department of Visual Arts. We quickly learned that the creator of the witness blanket is also a quiet polymath, who has the ability to harness big ideas and concepts like colonialism, indigenization, and reconciliation into the everyday conversations of Canadians. The totem became a catalyst to engage body, mind, spirit, community, and land, but this did not happen overnight. Over the last 4 years, many of the adults in the building have grappled with their own fears and anxieties about perpetuating misconceptions, making mistakes, or giving offense when teaching Indigenous content, as finesse literature suggests. So we started the story there, facing our fears and holding on to the idea that the goal is not only positive change and a holistic worldview, but a process of healing for generations. And while Carrie jokes that my wife said I had to do it, truly, we all had to do it. We all have to do the work. Within the tight grain of the red cedar, Carrie envisioned the totem stories, metaphors, and teachings. From there, we could start to envision a more socially and ecologically just future, where we challenge current structures, biases, and privileges, with the goal of making schools more inclusive for all. A tall order for sure, but as an Indigenous botanist and author of Braiding Sweetgrass, Robin Wall Kimmerer reminds us, it's really as straightforward as paying attention. Paying attention, she writes, is a form of reciprocity with the living world, receiving the gifts with open eyes and open heart. Carrie gave us the gift of paying attention. He has inspired us along the journey to look at ourselves in the hopes that we rewrite a new narrative. We are happy to report that more than 500 children are co-writing this story. Thank you.